Disney The Lion King. This is the story of an adventuresome lion cub who must find his own place in the great circle of life. As the morning sun rose high over the African plains, animals and birds gathered at the foot of the Pride Rock. This was a very special day. The animals bowed when they saw the new prince, Simba, before them. King Mufasa and Queen Sarabi watched as Rafiki, the wise baboon, presented their newborn son to the kingdom. Simba grew into a playful and curious cub. Early one morning, Mufasa brought Simba to the top of the Pride Rock. "Everything the light touches is our kingdom," he told his son. "One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king. We are all connected in the great circle of life." Later that day, Simba went to see his uncle Scar. "My dad just showed me the whole kingdom," the cub bragged, "and I'm going to rule it all." Now Scar was angry that he was no longer next in line to be king. He was plotting to get rid of this new prince. He asked slyly if Mufasa had shown him what was beyond the northern border. Well, no, said Simba sadly. He said, "I can't go there." "And he's absolutely right," said Scar. "Far too dangerous. Only the bravest lions go there. An elephant graveyard is no place for a young prince." Simba didn't see his uncle's evil trap. He decided to show his father what a brave cub he could be. Simba set out to find his best friend, Nala, and go visit the elephant graveyard. That very day, he had no idea that Scar had ordered 3 hyenas to go to the elephant graveyard too, to kill the new prince. Simba raced ahead across the plains, leading Nala to the forbidden place. Eventually, they reached a pile of bones. "It's really creepy," said Nala. Simba was about to explore the skull when he saw Zazu, his father's trusted advisor. Zazu commanded them to leave, immediately saying, "We are all in very real danger." But it was already too late. Nala and Simba were trapped by 3 laughing, drooling hyenas. Simba took a deep breath and tried to roar, but only a squeaky rumble came out. The hyenas laughed even more. At that, Simba took another deep breath. Roar! The 3 hyenas looked around into the eyes of King Mufasa. His giant paws struck one of the hyenas as he growled, "If you ever come near my son again." The hyenas fled, howling into the mist before he could finish. Mufasa scolded his son on the way home. "You deliberately disobeyed me." "I was just trying to be brave like you," said Simba softly. "Being brave doesn't mean that you can go looking for trouble," replied Mufasa. The moon shone brightly above them, and the stars twinkled in the dark sky. Mufasa stopped. Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you, and so will I. Meanwhile, Scar came up with another plan to get rid of King Mufasa. And Scar led Simba down a steep gorge. Then Scar signaled the hyenas to frighten a herd of wildebeest. The wildebeest stumbled towards Simba. Frightened a herd of wildebeest. The wildebeest stamped toward Simba. Hearing the thunder of hooves, Mufasa raced to the rescue. Hold on, Simba, he cried. The king rescued his son, but he could not save himself, for Scar pushed him into the stampede of wildebeest. When the stampede was over, Simba ran to his father's side. Dad, he whimpered, nuzzling Mufasa's name. But the king did not reply, and Simba started sobbing. Simba said, Scar, coldly, what have you done? The king is dead. If it weren't for you, he'd still be alive. What will your mother think? Run away, Simba. Run away and never return. Heartbroken, poor Simba ran away as fast as he could. Scar was certain that Simba would never come back. He returned to take the royal throne at Pride Rock for himself. Meanwhile, Simba was far away from the Pride lands. The ground turned dry and cracked beneath him. The sun beat down as vultures circled above his head. Exhausted and unable to go any farther, Simba slumped to the ground. After a long while, Simba awoke. Everything around him looked different. There were trees and grass and flowers instead of desert. A meerkat named Timon. And a warthog named Pumbaa had brought him to their home. You nearly died, said Pumbaa. I saved you, added Timon. Well, Pumbaa helped. Thanks for your help, said Simba, but he thought it doesn't matter. I've got nowhere to go. He began to walk away. Where are you going next? To Timon kindly. Nowhere, said Simba. Anything we can do, said Pumbaa. Not unless you can change the past.
I'll read that part. You gotta put your past behind you,
said Timon. Repeat after me.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries, added Pumbaa. Simba decided to stay in the jungle with his new friends. Years passed, and Simba grew into a young lion. He lived a happy, carefree, no worries life. With his friends. But one day something happened that was not a no worries situation. A fierce lioness was about to spring into Pumbaa, who was stuck under a tree root. She's gonna
Scream it. She's gonna eat me.
She's gonna eat me! Squealed Pumbaa. Simba rushed over to help. Simba wrestled with the lioness, but then realized she was his old friend Nala. You're alive, she said happily. That means you're the king, Nala told Simba. However, Scar had destroyed the Pride Lands. Simba, if you don't do something soon, everyone will starve. I can't go back. You won't understand, said Simba. Nala was disappointed in her friend. You don't understand. You're our only hope. Nala turned and left her friend alone. That night, Simba lay by a stream, thinking he had heard a noise. He
Looked up
and looked up.
It was Rafiki.
It was Rafiki.
I know who you are, said Rafiki. You're Mufasa's boy. He alive, and I will show him to you. You follow Rafiki. Come on.
Simba followed Rafiki in wonder to the edge of the stream. As Simba looked into the water, his reflection changed shape and became his father's. He heard Mufasa's voice from the stars. Simba, remember who you are.
You are my son.
You are my son and the one true king. Then the reflection and Rafiki disappeared. I'm going back, decided Simba. Meanwhile, back at the Pride Lands, storm clouds had gathered and a lightning bolt scorched the earth. As the dry grasses caught fire, huge flames swept towards the Pride Rock, and a lion appeared through the smoke. It was Simba. Scar lunged at Simba, determined to kill him, just as he had Mufasa, Timon, and Pumbaa joined the fierce battle that followed, and the lionesses drove back the hyenas. Simba finally heaved Scar over a cliff. Scar landed to find himself surrounded by drooling hyenas. Simba was victorious. Simba took his rightful place as the Lion King, and once again the land forest. One dawn, the animals and birds made their way again to the roof of the Pride Rock. Rafiki picked up a tiny cup. He showed the new princess, the daughter of the King Simba and Queen Nala, to the cheering crowd below. The circle of life would continue. Disney The Lion King, the end. I am so excited to have you check out my first ever video. Please like and subscribe.